If it's to all candidates, if it's to a candidate within a certain ward, if it's to a specific candidate, and our timekeeper will then monitor for a 2-minute response. Thank you.
Thank you. First off, is it working?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry. First off, kudos to you people for taking your time and,
First off, you will identify your name,
oh,
please.
sorry. My mom always said I didn't listen. She's right. Elton Robinson, an advocate for parents' rights. Thank you again very much for letting us ask this question. A policy passed by the board on June 22nd, 2021 states that if a child uses a different name or pronouns at school, the school cannot notify the parents of that fact without the child's permission, regardless of how young the child is. Do you support keeping such important issues secret from parents?
Who are you addressing?
Ward 4, sorry.
Thank you.
Hi there. Thank you for your question, first of all. I was part of the policy committee that passed that policy, and I do support that policy as it stands. First of all, I believe that students have the right to choose their own gender identity, and they have the right to do so even if their parents disagree. I know of a situation in our school where that has been the case, and that student did not want to disclose that they had a different gender identity than what their parents referred to them as. I believe that they have the right to keep that private, and that they're able to express that at school in the way that they so choose. So to answer your question, yes, I do support that policy.
Thank you.
Christine Nelson, thank you for the question as well. When I support parents through the work that I do, there's a lot of times where children don't feel safe, and whether that be in their homes or within the school environment, sometimes it adds a lot more stress to not allow them to identify the ways in which they want to and to share that with the parent. And so similar to Sarah, I do agree that it is the decision of the child as to how they identify without notifying the parents, because often if you do disclose this information, you're causing more stress and it becomes more of a distraction in the classroom and within the family home. And so if we're in the business of educating and empowering, and we are focused on the rights, the human rights of individuals, including our children, then I do believe that it is, as it is, and I support that.
Thank you for your honesty.
I must agree. I believe that students have feelings that are just coming out and they need to be able to express it. And they will speak to a teacher to try and resolve things. And I think discussion is where it's all about. Like, if a student came to me and said that this is the way he felt, I would try my best to get him to speak to the parent. But if he was unable to do that, I would let it go and see where it went, because we have several years with them and we can address that issue at a later date.
Thank you very much for your honesty.
Thank you.
Thank you. In the spirit,
Susho?
okay, I just want to interject for a minute because there was a sound that's not acceptable in this room. And I will repeat what was stated at the beginning of the evening. In the spirit of a rigorous discourse, only respectful interactions and respectful questions will be acceptable. There will be no interruptions of anyone while speaking while their turn. So please refrain.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Sir, I think this is a very important question. I recognize passing on the family traditions. It can be hard when family relationships and social roles seem to change in the time it takes for today's 5th grader to graduate from junior high. In my opinion, parents, teachers, and caregivers are the role models for children. They have significant influence. So I think the important question that you have is that how can the parents really be responsible, not just only the student itself or the child itself. Traditions help our self-esteem and create our identity. Traditions are meant to fortify the family. What are those family values that you are talking about that this child would have? Let me give you an example. A parent sues school over transgender brainwashing. this is August 21st report. Irrespective of the fact whether I agree or disagree with this, let me read the first paragraph. California parent Jessica Conan is suing our school district for secretly indoctrinating our grade 6 daughter in the cult of transgenderism, convincing her to change her gender identity, all the while urging her not to discuss the situation with her mother trustee because she cannot be trusted. The behavior of those woke educators matters not only because parents, as opposed to the government, are supposed to be in charge for raising their children, but also because certain education ideology threaten the very underpinning of both our society and the Western civilization as a whole. Mind you, teachers are not doing this on their own. They are forced to do it by the provincial curricula, broad policies, and vocal groups. In the end, sir, I suggest that you ask yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm not against the LGBTQ. My father was a transgender at the last couple of years of his life, and I have LGBTQ people in our family. So that's not my question and my concern for our group. Ours is we have a right to our children too, and the CAS was made to intervene for you educators to reach out to them.
Thank
You're
you.
basically calling all parents bigots with that policy. Thank you.